Coming up on this week's news, confusion is mounting in the trade over the correct cable insulation to use in meter cupboards. Over 1,000 social homes in Dundee are revealed to have had EICRs that were over 5 years old, and a blind electrician is assaulted in a row over a battery. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly in association with Solar Trade Sales, your easy one-stop shop for all things solar. Make sure you click the link in the show notes to access their online store. Whether you're listening in the van, on-site or down at the wholesale counter, I'm Joe Robinson and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. And this week's challenge word competition is supported by the good people at Brady. If you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. If you think you've spotted the 2 words I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win a prize. And while you're there, click the link to check out the Brady range of printers. Confusion reigns this week over the insulation of cables in meter cabinets. Reports indicate that new homes are increasingly featuring single insulated conductors within the external meter box. But opinion is sharply divided in the trade over whether this is acceptable practice. The problem arises if the consumer unit is more than 3 metres from the meter box. This requires installers to use some form of mechanical protection. The most common solution is to use steel wire armoured cable, but the cable is often stripped back and connected directly to an isolator or switch fuse inside the meter box. Electrical work in new build housing is fiercely competitive, and this method is considerably cheaper and faster, but many electricians regard this as bad practice and question how the installation can be approved for connection. They say that single insulation provides only basic protection and can be damaged during installation or alteration. They also argue that the meter cabinet is accessible to the householder, albeit with a simple tool. Customers can use a standard triangular key to open the box and read their meter. While a meter cupboard appears to comply with Regulation 412.2.2, in practice it is readily accessible to unskilled people. In which case, say the critics, the conductors need double protection. In an EICR, many electricians would code the exposed single insulated cables as either a C3 or possibly C2 issue. But the Electrical Safety First charity disagrees. On its website it says that a meter cupboard which can only be opened with a key or a tool would be classified as an enclosure based on the definition in BS 7671. If the door lock and the hinges work and there's no signs of damage to the exposed insulation, then it's fine. Other organisations don't appear to offer the clarity that the trade requires. Let us know your view on conductors in meter cabinets in the comments below. And speaking of all things cables and conductors, our latest question of the week came courtesy of our free training package made in association with Doncaster Cables, and asked the question: general use PVC, PVC, flat twin and CPC can operate at a minimum temperature of what temperature? And the answer is minus 15 degrees C. A respectable 64% of people got this right on YouTube. Meanwhile, on LinkedIn, only 36% of respondents got it correct. And on X, a mere 24% were right. Bit of a worry that in these colder months. Although, to be fair, the vast majority of people on all platforms either got it right or erred on the side of caution when totalled up. But however you slice it up, it seems there's a bit still to be learned about cables and conductors, so why not make it a goal to complete that free training module from Doncaster Cables before the end of the year. In other news, it's been revealed that over 1,000 council homes in Dundee went over the recommended 5-year limit for electrical installation testing. The City Council admitted that of tests carried out in 2023 and 2024, 1,222 of its homes had an EICR that was over 5 years old. In a statement, the local authority said that it's continuing to work with tenants to carry out the work. It added that it would resort to legal action if it needed to gain access to properties. In June, it was revealed that the London Borough of Southwark hadn't done any EICR electrical safety checks on its homes for 6 years and was only doing them on an ad hoc basis. A major programme to inspect its 36,000 council homes is now underway. In recent years, fellow local authorities in the capital, Greenwich and Harrow, have been criticised for failures to maintain current EICRs on their properties. Electrical safety standards require private landlords to have their electrical installations inspected and tested by a qualified person at least every 5 years. Landlords are obliged to provide a copy of the EICR to their tenants if requested. Regular checks on social housing are recommended as best practice but are not currently mandatory. The government recently said it was considering making it compulsory for council homes and has asked the trade for its view. And now for some good news to help us out with our end-of-year brain rot. A new service which helps electricians get DNO connections has passed a major milestone. The Energy Networks Association Connect Direct platform has just celebrated surpassing 15,000 applications. Connect Direct is an AI-powered platform that streamlines the application process for installers of green technology such as heat pumps and solar panels. In a rare outbreak of positivity, it's been heaped with praise from contractors since it had its soft launch in May. Connect Direct has been hugely popular popular and processed 1,000 applications in the first month alone. Many applications have been processed instantly. Those that need to be escalated to the DNO now take, on average, just 1.5 days to process, as opposed to the usual 10 days. The platform now allows integrated commissioning, allowing electricians to provide commissioning details for generation devices at customer sites. The creators of the service have also been campaigning to remove so-called zombie projects from the grid connection system. They've now taken the axe to some 10 gigawatts of stalled and speculative jobs, speeding up the queue for genuine applicants. I've popped the link to the service's website in the show notes. The trade in Manchester is hoping for more positivity and good news after the industry got together to try and tackle the shortage of electricians in the city. The gathering was the first of its kind in the UK and brought together metropolitan authorities, vocational colleges, business people and associations such as the ECA. The Alliance has now developed a plan to tackle barriers to young people graduating as electricians. Meanwhile, on a national level, eyebrows were raised this week when it was revealed that budding sparks using the T-level route to qualification could work at home during their industry placements. The Department for Education confirmed this week that pupils training to be electricians would be allowed to carry out up to 9 days of their 45-day industry placements from home. Instead, simulated activity would be allowed to form part of their tuition in some circumstances. The DfE said the changes would allow the T-level qualification to stay ahead of workplace trends and ensure that students gain practical experience in dynamic, evolving industries. But former Education Secretary Sir Gavin Williamson slammed the move. He said ministers had gone for the cheap and easy route as against the right route. Again, let us know what your experience has been like in the comments below. One man who definitely didn't take the quick and easy route was my colleague Gordon, who was tasked this week with demonstrating long-range radio technology. So he, Rick and Joe decided to build a pub on the top of one of Yorkshire's highest peaks. It's a cracking video tale that mixes Mr. Beast, David Attenborough and Top Gear, so check it out after this in the show notes. And to celebrate said pub mountain radio video thing, we've teamed up with RF Technology and the Hawkston Brewery for a competition with the prize of a perfect draft beer machine and a keg of delicious Hawkston lager. I'm sure that'll make Mr. Clarkson very happy. Your project completions this week include an install of fire detection kits at Costa Coffee's flagship outlet in Solihull. OTEC Electrical worked with specialist JCB Fire and supplier Hochiki to deliver a detection system that would interface with the existing building's network, including its security and sprinkler systems. To meet the Disability Discrimination Act, the team installed visual alarms designed for individuals with hearing impairments. The kit has an open protocol, which means it can talk to other manufacturers' equipment such as panels and detectors. The install was completed in a week. Nice job, folks. Up in Renfrew, Electrical Solutions Scotland has just finished this lovely lighting job. The client is a company who prints the labels for whisky bottles. As you'd imagine, a printing business like this needs quality illumination. Electrical Solutions worked with supplier Luceco to come up with a design that matches the daylight from the skylights and delivers top quality colour rendering. They used the Alara Bay high-mounted LED luminaire for the main industrial space and the surface mount Lux panel for the office spaces. The client is said to be delighted with the job, and if anyone from Electrical Solutions Scotland wants to give us at eFix a tour of their work, then get in touch. You won't be short of volunteers. If you want to see your project featured, take some pics, tell us what you've done, and get in touch. The link, as always, is in the show notes. Now, speaking of quality printing, in product news this week, Brady has unveiled its latest black and white portable printer. The M410 label printer is a robust and versatile tool designed for professionals in electrical, datacom and lab environments. Engineered for premium 25.4mm printing, it delivers precise edge-to-edge results, maximising label space without waste. Whether you need pre-sized or continuous labels, the M410 offers over 110 hassle-free drop-in cartridges with 12 plus material options to tackle the toughest jobs. Its easy swap locking mechanism and clear cartridge viewing window simplify cartridge changes, keeping your workflow seamless and efficient. You can design and print labels on the fly using the intuitive QWERTY keypad, or connect to a PC with Brady Workstation software for more complex designs. The M410 is built to withstand 1.2 metre drops and harsh work environments, making it the perfect job site companion. With enhanced exterior colouring for visibility, a backlit LCD for low light conditions and a user-friendly interface, the M410 label printer is your go-to solution for professional labelling. If you're a contractor who works on street lighting, signage or overhead cables, you'll know that your mobile platform is a crucial piece of kit. The only downside to working high up is that you have to use a diesel van to transport it. Until now, that is. That's because UK firm Aldecott has just developed its first platform specifically for electric vehicles. It's the brand's first product built entirely without stabilisers. Instead, its design carefully directs the load to strong points in the vehicle. This results in a much lighter product than traditional platforms without compromising on safety. For instance, its platforms made for Swedish firm Liftco and mounted on Ford Transit vans provide an operating height of 13.8 metres and an outreach of 8.4 metres with a working load of 230 kilos. The company also supplies big operators such as Openreach and the ESB in Ireland. And finally, in Thailand, a blind electrician has been badly assaulted in a row over a battery. The partially sighted installer, known to his community near Bangkok as Jakra Fan, was left with a double jaw fracture after he was attacked by a group of men. It all began when Jakra Fan was asked to check the electrical work at a motorcycle repair shop. Upon arrival, he found nobody at the premises and left. The owner later claimed a battery was missing and said CCTV footage showed Jakra Fan's car was the only vehicle at the shop. When Jakra Fan returned to discuss the issue, he was assaulted by two men who beat him unconscious. Now the electrician and his family have launched a campaign to try and get justice. Now, before we go, congratulations to electrical industry exec Ian Hunter, who this week becomes the UK Trade Sales Director at Luceco. Ian has a CV featuring major roles at Legrand, Siemens and Skolmore. He'll focus on supporting electrical projects in the UK, and we wish you all the very best in your new role, Ian. And our usual reminder that we're in the market for your stories, your projects and your recommendations, as we'd like to share them with the wider eFix community. Now that Brett Summer is finally over, whatever that was, in December we're looking at energy monitoring and lighting controls. Send us pictures of your installs or let us know if you've come across any new kit that's making your job easier. Now, just before we get to your favourite bit of the show where I reveal last week's challenge words and winners, we want to thank our premium partners. We couldn't make the news without you. First up, it's the people who've created the Swiss Army knife of solar inverters, along with all-weather batteries, very much the Boy Scouts of the solar industry. It's Sunsync. The best thing to come out of Yorkshire since stainless steel, the home of EV Ultra and other groundbreaking and quality products, it's Doncaster Cables. With an incredible range of equipment from EV charge points through industrial sockets and switches to kit for explosive areas, plus they supplied gear for a Campari factory, so they'll always have a place in my heart. It's Scarmy. Big thanks to you all. We really appreciate your ongoing support for the news. If you think you know the words that I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments. We'll take all those correct guesses and select one at random to be the winner of an eFix goodie bag prize. Answers submitted after about lunchtime on the Thursday after release will not be entered into the draw. Now let's reveal the winners of last week's challenge word competition, as sponsored by Brady. Remember, if you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. Click the link in the description to view their incredible range. After the disruption of the previous week of this competition, normal service was resumed, and last week I did indeed remember to smuggle two words into the episode. Those words were Eskimo and buzzed, and the first name to come out of our electronic hat was Andrew Russell 1998. So well done to you, Andrew. Click the link in the show notes to claim your prize. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly in association with Solar Trade Sales, your easy one-stop shop for all things solar. Remember to click the link in the show notes to check out their online shop. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week. Stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque-calibrated arm.